Neverness, in preparation for their CBT test, which is going to be coming up in July, have done a live stream and they've revealed a few things that they've been working on ever since their last CBT in December. And honestly, I am very impressed with all of the things that I'm seeing here. Like, I already have a new favorite character in the game, and I have seen a ton of features that are making me think, Ananta, what the hell are you people doing? Honestly, it's crazy at this point that we haven't seen so much as gameplay from Ananta, but we've gotten all of these improvements from NTE, and I'm really looking forward to this beta test. I really hope I can get in. If I get in, I'll be sure to make some very good content for you guys. Now, this video unfortunately will not be able to go over every single thing that they talked about in the beta. I'm only going to talk about 3 specific things that I actually think are very cool. And the reason why I'm not able to talk about every single thing is because it's a Sunday. I need to go to church, and there's no how I'll get this video edited in time before I get to church. So with that being said, let's just get straight into the video. Hey, what is up guys, it's Mordant. Now, if you're interested in news videos, challenge videos, discussion videos, and lore videos for any of the games that you can see on screen right now, then please consider subscribing to the channel. The goal for the year is 5,000 subscribers. And with that said, let's get back to the content properly this time around. Alright, so one of the biggest things that I actually wanted to start off talking about is the wanted system that is now in the game. So before I actually get to the actual wanted system itself, let's talk about something that a lot of people were requesting at the time, which can actually lead to you getting a star in the game. So one of the things that people complained about in the first beta is the fact that you cannot get cars by taking cars from civilians in the road. And I honestly did not think that this would come because this was a Chinese game. But NTE did something that is honestly very impressive. Now, if you guys remember, when Ananta did their trailer, they showed off this particular scene where I speculated that all of our characters, the characters that we play in Ananta, are all government officials. And because they're government officials, they can actually request for civilians to step out of their car so that they can borrow them, and maybe the government will reimburse them or something like that. And I think NTE just copied that idea verbatim. And I absolutely love it. I'm not even gonna lie, I love it. So in this beta, with Mint's authority, you can actually go to a civilian and you can requisition their car from them. So basically you can ask them to step out of their car and then you can take their car from them. And this is all good and fine, but then the devs of NTE went a step further to make it so that some NPCs will not actually agree to cooperate with you. And they say that if you absolutely want to, of course they don't recommend this and neither do I, but if a civilian says that they don't want to give you their car, you could very politely steal their car from them. Oh my goodness, I am loving this beta. Honestly, I am loving the things that I'm seeing here. If you can't hear it from my voice, I really don't know what else to tell you, but I am absolutely loving this. Now, if you forcefully steal a car from a civilian, you will get a star in the game. And this is not the only thing that can actually get you a star in the game. If you drive on the wrong side of the road, basically if you're using the sidewalks as roadsides, if you're attacking civilians, if you're destroying public property, you can get a star. And all of these things make sense because most of our characters are government officials. They should be law-abiding citizens. So the fact that we're getting stars for driving on the wrong side of the road makes a lot of sense. And of course, generally, it makes sense that we get a star for actually attacking civilians. So how exactly does the wanted system in NTE work? So from what I saw, the way it works is that there are 3 stars in the game. 1 star is basically the lightest mode. 2 stars is like maybe 3 stars in like GTA. And then 3 stars is like 6 stars in GTA. So basically, it's harder to get 2 stars and it's also harder to get 3 stars, but once you do that, law enforcement comes out in full force to get you, and when they do catch you, you have to pay a fine in order to be released. And like I said before, I honestly did not expect them to add this to the game. I am very impressed that they added this to the game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how exactly this is going to work in game. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the gacha that is in the game, which honestly, if you've been on the internet for just a little bit of time, you will know that because NTE did the Chinese live stream first, we already know that the game no longer has a 50-50 in it. And this is something that a lot of people are very happy about. Now, I want to talk about the gacha system itself because it's a little strange. Basically, for anyone who came into gacha from the likes of Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, this is going to look very strange to you. So let me explain. Essentially, what they did is that they took the game Ludo and they turned it into a gacha system. So every time you roll, you have this thing on screen that moves from place to place. And if you land on a character chest, you will get a character. But if you land on something else, you have a chance to get either a character or something else. Here's the thing, my thoughts on this are a little mixed. I don't know whether I am going to like this as much. I mean, it's just a gacha system, so it doesn't really matter. All that matters is getting the characters. And the rates are pretty good, but I don't like the fact that soft pity kicks in at 70. But then again, the game's hard pity is 90, and then for that, you don't actually get a 50-50. So I guess it's not that much of a complaint. And the devs also addressed any complaints about the game being F2P. They talked about the fact that you will be able to get a ton of pulls in the game. And of course, when the game actually launches, you will be able to buy some pulls of your own. Now, this point is one of the biggest points, I think, especially to me, because I'm someone who does not have a very good PC. And because I don't have a very good PC, it's very difficult for me to run Wuthering Waves on my PC. So I've been running Wuthering Waves on my phone ever since it launched in May of 2024. And unfortunately, this test that they're doing is not available on mobile. And the devs said that it's because the global market has a ton of different kinds of phones and they don't want to release a bad product. But they did show us mobile gameplay and it looks very good. And I'm going to give the devs some props for not saying we're going to release this CBT on only iPhones and leave the Android phones out of it, because that is something that they could have done very easily, because it's easier to optimize for an iPhone than it is an Android phone. We have different kinds of Android manufacturers with different kinds of processors and different kinds of specs that makes it very difficult to account for every single person. But because iPhones are just iPhones, it's much easier to build for them. And because of that, they could have said that they will release the CBT for only iPhones and then the global launch of the game will happen later on mobile. But they did not do that, and I absolutely love that. I love their dedication to actually making sure that the product is good. And if you guys remember, before Wuthering Waves launch, or maybe after Wuthering Waves launch, I said that a lot of developers are going to be paying attention to what Wuthering Waves does, because they can't replicate the exact same scenarios that Genshin Impact had. Genshin Impact launched during a worldwide pandemic where everyone was at home. Wuthering Waves was the first gacha game to launch in a somewhat normal time, and because of that, a lot of developers were taking notes on what exactly Wuthering Waves did, how well did it work out, and all of that. And I was saying before the game will actually launch that this is something that a lot of devs are going to take into consideration. And Wuthering Waves on mobile has not actually been the best. It has worked fine for me, but there are some people, especially on the live stream, who are complaining that Wuthering Waves on their phone played like trash. And I love the fact that the devs of NTE actually just took out the time to say, we're not actually going to release the NTE beta just yet. We want to make sure that this is actually very good. And they actually need this, because with Ananta as competition, even though we still haven't seen any form of gameplay from Ananta, if they fumble the bag, like I've said multiple times in multiple videos, they will most likely be put aside and Ananta will take the spotlight. But with all of that being said, I think I'll have to bring the video to a close here. Honestly, I am very impressed with all of the things that I've seen that the devs of NTE are doing. And now I'm just wondering, Ananta, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, honestly, we need some gameplay. We don't need a trailer. Stop doing the trailers. Give us gameplay. Even if it's a live stream showing us something, like, it doesn't make sense that after all this time, we still haven't seen any form of gameplay from Ananta. Doesn't make sense. I want to strongly believe that they are actually working on something behind the scenes, especially since it seems that their strategy is to wait for NTE to show their hand first and then they do something. But let's wait and see. So, with all that being said, I need to go edit this video. So, happy Sunday to all of you if you're watching this on a Sunday. Jesus loves you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.